Hey guys, it's Carl from Most Gaming, and I'm here to talk to you guys today about Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Great game, basically the sequel we've all been waiting for since Human Revolution, but it doesn't quite measure up to the success of its predecessor, and I'll tell you why. The graphics of the game are amazing, mostly because it is running on a new engine. It's called the Dawn engine, and it was created by Square Enix specifically for this game. The environments in the game and everything, they all look great, and the action is well done, it's well made. However, the lip syncing in this game is terrible.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I'm here to see Soko. He's expecting me.
Which one? My husband Dushan or his foolish brother Tibor? I guess it doesn't matter which one. The police took them both to the Narrows to torture them for...
And the dialogue in the game bears a strong resemblance to the wheel that we see in Fallout or BioWare games of that nature. However, the one weak link in it that I see is they tried to learn lessons from Fallout in the sense that the replies that you can give are too vague. So when you highlight a choice, you get an exact written answer for what Jensen is going to say. So as a result, the options sound like they're being read off of a piece of paper. Whereas in games like Mass Effect, you get a paraphrase of what's going to be said, and then the character says something else. And this is a bit distracting if you're looking for a totally immersive experience. And that is something that I was hoping that they fix with the new technology, because it sort of breaks the immersion a little bit. The environments and every part of this world is intricately crafted. It's got great lighting. All the characters are brought to life by incredible voice acting. Some are hit or miss. And I want to give particular mention to Adam Jensen, namely because he's a great character, but his voice is a little bit monotone. Now, Elias Tefaxis does a good job, but he seems to be missing a little bit of range of emotion when it comes to doing Adam Jensen. The gameplay operates much more like a first-person shooter this time around. So for anybody who plays Call of Duty or Bioshock or things of that nature, you'll feel right at home. Where it's different is in its RPG elements. There is an absolutely enormous skill tree that has a bunch of returning skill sets along with some new ones that take the form of experimental augmentations, which early in the game you can activate at the cost of overclocking your systems. If you complete a quest early in the game, you can get a device that gets around this, and I recommend doing so. so that you can experience the new skills in all their glory. But final thought is it it doesn't take long before you start feeling like an overloaded mechanical badass. The story, unfortunately, is the weakest point within the game. Not because it's not good, more because it is noticeable that they didn't take their time with it as they did in the first. It is your pretty much cutting a run-of-the-mill conspiracy theory with supporting characters that don't really seem to matter much. They don't provide the ample stimulus that is required to keep you going, and there's not the same level of intrigue that was found in the first game. And I think this is just a victim of what I like to call the sequel sickness here, because the sequels hardly ever top their predecessors, and this is no exception. But that is by no means a way of saying that it's not a good game. However, it does feel like we were shortchanged a little bit, and the campaign is not the longest I've seen. However, the strongest point in the game seems to be the gameplay. And without reiterating much, I'll just say that it is a much more refined version of what we saw in the first game, and this is why it's so good. But it comes at the cost of a noticeably shorter story that is not as engaging. For me as a gamer, it does a lot of things right that I can appreciate, both from a technical standpoint and a narrative standpoint. The menus in the game are easy to access because they all have hotkey functions that don't require a lot of button presses. And for those who hotkeys are too much to handle, there's a radial wheel that actually stays when you press the button, as opposed to having to hold a button to get the cursor to move, which makes it easier because you don't have the nerve-wracking necessity to fumble looking for a button when you're in action. Now, in reference to the mechanical augmentations within the game, it is an incredibly plausible way that they use to communicate this, and the future that Adam Jensen lives in is almost seemingly entirely plausible. As a person with a disability, this holds more weight for me because mechanical augmentations could help a person like me. And the fact that they bear so much similarity to real life prosthesis is incredible. Right down to the fact that those who receive mechanical augmentations have to take a medicine to counteract the body's rejection of the implants. Very much in the same way that the body rejects an amputee's newly added limbs in real life. The fact that Adam Jensen is more or less along my age just reiterates the fact that this is a very possible future for many of us. And the way that it is presented makes it all that more impactful for someone like myself. Conclusion: Deus Ex Human Revolution was a marvel when it was released. The sequel, that was in development for considerably longer, pales in certain respects, but in all others, it lives up to the Deus Ex name and offers plenty of choice and variety. And anyone who's a fan of this series will not be disappointed. So my overall score is an 8.5 out of 10. Final thoughts? Well, there's not much more I can say about the game, but look forward to a Mafia 3 review in the near future. Thanks, guys.